So, High Noise Podcast, I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
A happy Monday.
Happy goddamn Monday, dude. I went to a patisserie today. Today's good. Life is good. Life is worth a living.
What the fuck is a patisserie?
It's a French bakery, with the pretty pastries and shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's what it was called. I just thought they were called the French bakery.
That's la pâtisserie, type shit. It's whatever, man.
Type shit,
Type shit, fuck with it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I also saw you went to Restaurant Depot.
God's place. So what the fuck did whatever the hell racist man say? Take me back to God's land or whatever the fuck. Hell yeah, that was me when I went to Restaurant Depot. Morgan Wallen, that's his name. This is after he finished up with SNL. Yeah, I went to Restaurant Depot today as well. It's like the greatest spot I've ever been. I dropped $200, but my business will now have supplies. So
Hey, I've heard great things about Restaurant Depot during my restaurant days. It's like it's like Sam's Club and Costco for restaurants.
Yeah, but also smaller and not overwhelming like Costco. I hate Costco. There's too much going on, too many people, and just too much shit that I don't care about,
Yeah, and always one really annoying phone salesperson. They got T-Mobile in the Sam's Club that I go to for work.
Oh my God, you're right.
For work.
Yeah, and they cling on to you.
I go around them. I go around the back of the back of the store to avoid the T-Mobile person because I'm like, I'm good.
You know what?
Stay away from me. I'm good. I got a phone. Cell service is decent.
It's right here. You could look at it right now if you want.
And it's not T-Mobile.
Fuck T-Mobile. We're Team Verizon over here.
I have AT&T, but whatever you want to be, whichever one chooses to sponsor us first. How's that sound? Hey.
Fucking hell, man.
Glory and I both didn't go to shows this past week. It was a showless week, which is a rarity. I was looking at my calendar. This is like the first time since before the summer that I haven't went to at least one show in a week. So I was like, wow, that's wild. But
that's why we're talking about Restaurant Depot and patisserie.
Patisseries, yeah. But I can't lie. I caught up on a lot of things that I've been putting off for several weeks due to the fact that I would wake up, work, go to a show, and rinse and repeat. So I got one tomorrow, though. I'm seeing Water Parks on their New York City Underplay. Back to the rock and the roll, which I am excited about. I got some shows lined up in October. October stays decent throughout the entire month, which I'm stoked about. Jonas Brothers announced more tour dates today, including another New Jersey date, because of course we need another one 4 months after they just sold out the stadium here.
And you're going?
Probably, yeah. It's 2 days after my birthday. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah. I was gonna say you're bitching and moaning about they were just here like for 2 weeks.
No,
okay,
they were just.
But
I mean that as in I don't have to rush to get tickets because the last time they did this exact same thing where they did 2 shows in New York City in a baseball stadium and then 4 months later played the exact same venue that they're going to be playing, in November. The show did just okay, so I'm in no rush to buy tickets considering they just did 60,000 people here in New Jersey. How many of those are going to want to return again? It's Jonas Brothers and All American Rejects and Frankie Jonas, Franklin Jonas, sorry. Gotta go with the legal name.
Why is he going there?
He does music, remember? He doesn't just make poop talks.
No, he makes me. When the fuck did he start singing? That's not true. That's new.
He put an EP out a few years ago.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. Sorry, I have to see that with my own eyes because there's no fuck. Oh my God.
You don't have to believe me, but this isn't something worth lying about.
He put out an EP in 2020. That was before my time. No, that was after my time. I was following Frankie Jonas from 2020 to 2022, and then I fell off of my Frankie Jonas. Oh my God. And it's just, That's crazy.
Well, artistically, he's known as Franklin Jonas, and he will be opening. He was added to the tour like right after the first New Jersey date, which kicked off this tour that they added more dates onto. And I was very bummed that we did not get to have him performing. He was hosting the Samsung TV Plus live stream of the show, so he was still in the building, but he did not perform that night.
No.
He was performing on live television, working the microphone, presenting away.
Exactly. I mean, what else would you expect Franklin Jonas to do? That's insane. I did not know that.
Multi-talented individual.
Poop talks, music. What can he not
hosting
do?
on the Samsung TV Plus, which
How could I forget
I
about
had never heard of that until the Jonas Brothers streamed on there.
Yeah, I didn't know Samsung had a TV. I mean, I guess everyone does, Apple TV.
Everybody's got a streaming service these days. Even us. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
We made it. We're the first and only YouTubers on there.
We are the only YouTubers ever.
Speaking of shows potentially not selling out, let's talk about the MyChem shit show that was Friday, because that was a situation, because I was stressing, you were stressing,
you should
and neither of us
the
got
text messages between Gloria and I. Oh my god.
Dude, that shit was fire, bro. Dude. It was just
Gloria and I both texted each other, we are not seeing MCR fire emoji.
We are not seeing My Chemical Romance. It's insane. I was stressing because I thought that it was going to sell out almost immediately, like last time, because that is exactly what happened with the Black Parade tour that kicked off and wrapped up like fucking, it was like a month or two straight of shows or something like that.
Yeah, and it just wrapped up at Shaky Knees like last weekend.
Exactly, and it sold out. The entire tour completely sold out. Crazy shit. And now, dude, here, look at this. Fuck. Switch to map. Let me see the map. This is DC. Sorry, I have fucking emails popping up. That's insane. That's DC. That is a massive audience. That is a massive, what do you call it in the music industry? Demographic. Nope.
It's a big capacity. A lot of people to fit in that room, and a lot of blue there.
A lot of blue.
Yeah.
Like, why can I still buy fucking not Pit, but down there for I could buy it for $860.
Yeah. So, there was 100,000 people in front of me, for New York City Field, which I saw that and I was like, well, I'm not seeing MCR, not because of those ticket prices, but because there's not going to be any tickets there left for me. A baseball stadium holds roughly 40,000 people. That includes everything. You put a stage in there, there's even less people. You put people on the floor, it evens off some of the sections that get cut off, because there's really not a ton of sections that get cut off, just the way baseball stadiums are laid out. But I'm not going to explain how a baseball stadium's laid out, but let's just say 40,000 people. There was 100,000 in front of me, and I was
numbers.
I was like, I'm not seeing my chem, and I was getting to the end. I had a work call to get on. I made my boss take it from his laptop, and I'm sitting on the call. I look like a jerk off with my laptop in frame, and I get into this pre-sale like an hour and 10 minutes worth of waiting,
sweating,
and there is so much blue left, and I see that, like, I'm not going to go for nosebleeds because I'm not going to try to be up in the rafters. I'll pay a little bit more to be a little bit further down. And the 200s, which at Citi Field is the 300s, because there's really no 200s. There's 100s, 300s, 400s, and 500s, which is stupid. Those are $275 after fees. I'm sorry. I sat in roughly those seats in different rooms, obviously, in New Jersey and in Philadelphia on the last tour. Combined, those cost me $300 after fees.
Yeah.
One ticket to see the same show, Black Parade 2026, play the same record in full.
Yep.
With the same B stage. Same kind of vibes, maybe a different storyline. Who cares?
Same people on the stage, though.
Same people, same band, same songs.
Same songs.
They're still gonna play the hits on the B stage.
They're not playing a new record. It's not the new record tour.
$275 for one ticket. I was like, And if I wanted to spend more on one show than what I
'Cause why not?
spent on 2 shows,
Yeah.
I could go down to the 100s.
Well,
$371 after fees.
an easy 371.
Easy.
Why not? I'll take 5.
Easy. It's not a lack of demand. The demand is absolutely there. That's evident by the fact that I had 100,000 people in front of me. Glory got so nervous because she forgot about the on sale.
50K, and I was 30 minutes late to the pre-sale. I think I had 50 or 75K people in front of me, and it took me a solid hour to get through the queue to the actual. I was like, shit, it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm not going. There's no chance. There's no choice. I had the choice, and I said, I'm not gonna drop $350 for literally the last row in the actual fucking hangars up there, the rafters.
Ballpark. Up in
what
the rafters.
The fuck,
yeah.
dude? Like, I paid resale. Granted, it was resale, but the prices were very consistent from, fucking face value to resale for my chem show that I've been to, the, reunion tour. I was in the lowest section that wasn't the pit seats. I paid $300 for 2 tickets. $150. Fucking all the way up at the very tippity top is $162 without fees. What the fuck?
It's not a lack of demand. It is the tone deafness of the team involved that set the ticketing prices. That's everybody involved in the behind the scenes work. Everyone's at fault for this one.
Gerard Way, I'm looking at you.
And I'm no fucking analyst. I don't know what's going on in the background, but I know that it is not a good look from an industry perspective to the week before you announce this new leg of shows in the same size rooms that you just played all summer long that did sellout business across the board. It is not a good look when you put up those new dates for the next year that sold out instantly. By the way, the last time you did this,
same day, everything was sold
within
out.
2 hours, these shows were blown the fuck out. So by the end of the day, all the shows were sold out.
I didn't have a choice. I did not have. I would have traveled for it.
Yeah, didn't
even get the opportunity.
Dude, that was literal warfare. That getting those tickets, these things were just disappearing in front of me.
You got 2 shows.
Yeah, but they were especially New Jersey I was like, I might not go because the only seats that were left were ones that were out of my budget, which for this show, everything's out of the budget, but
unless you have $600 laying around for nosebleeds.
But there's they did this sellout business. They announced these new shows a week after wrapping up the tour that just did sellout business, and then to have these shows doing so painfully terrible is not a good look. It does look like there's a lack of demand for the band. We all know that that's not the case, but on paper, when you look at it, it looks like there's a lack of demand within these markets for this band. They're even doing smaller shows in LA. Granted, they're doing 3 of them at the Hollywood Bowl. Those are not doing well either. So it is across the board. The ticket prices are egregious. I think they're going to come crashing down, and they're going to crash hard, and they're going to crash fast. So I would definitely keep your eyes peeled. Please. I've noticed some of the the higher sections are slowly disappearing, at least in New York City, because that's the show I've been keeping eyes on, because some people can stomach $250 to be suspended in air in a steel and brick building
to watch a show on a screen.
Yeah,
you can do that at home for free.
I personally can't stomach that. It pained me to do $150 and be so far away, considering I've done shows of that magnitude on the floor for $150. But that was also pre-pandemic, different times, etc., etc. But I know that these lower bowl tickets, these floor tickets, they are not moving at the rate that they should have been. So I would anticipate this stuff crashing hard and fast. I would keep your eyes peeled. I've been keeping my eyes peeled because I think they're going to crash hard and fast, because the fact that these are not doing sellout business does not look good on paper. And the band can do it. The band is just not going to do it at that price range.
Those prices, especially where money is with everyone right now. Everyone's fucking broke right now. Who the fuck what normal average person, especially their demographic, which
Mhm.
is like the young adult, can drop $400 to $600 for shitty tickets. And then if they want a good ticket, that's more than $1,000 per person. That's crazy. For like a 3-hour show?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Even the shows that people were talking very highly about that have the openers that are desirable to people, because like New York City's got fucking Franz Ferdinand, which he's, it's dope, like, okay, cool, but it's, totally out of market, which I know is what they're trying to do.
Market, that's what I was looking for. It's a big market.
But there's certain openers that are a little bit closer to their market. I know they're trying to get out of the emo umbrella. It's very obvious with the openers
you're touring the Black Parade.
It's very obvious on the openers on the last tour, as well as most of the openers on this tour. But even the shows that have Pierce the Veil and Baby Metal, these are highly sought after shows. People thought that like locals weren't going to get an opportunity at these shows, especially Pierce the Veil, because of how rabid their fan base is. Well, you put these two rabid fan bases together and you have absolute chaos. Those shows are not doing sellout business either. This is across the board. The shows overseas that they announced alongside these other US shows, those sold out because those ticket prices were lower. But they went for blood here in the States, and are getting what I'm glad to see, because I was like, people are going to spend this money. I'm like, people are going to spend this money. People are stupid with their money. They'll throw it on a credit card and they'll just forget about it and hope it goes away. But I'm glad to see across the board. I've been seeing it on Reddit and TikTok, and those are the places that I gravitate towards, where I kind of see what people are talking about. Instagram is more of just like shit on a feed. I don't see as much of people talking, which I'm okay with. But I've seen on Reddit and TikTok a lot of people feeling similarly to the way Gloria and I are, which has been good to see. It's obvious in the ticket sales for the tour. But yeah, just keep an eyes peeled, because there's no way that they're just going to leave these shows up for sale like this. They need these to do sellout business. And if they don't, I know that people aren't going to pay those resale prices that people are going to have to pay to fucking... It's so bad, I don't even think the scalpers bought the tickets. I'm going to be honest with you, because all the sought after tickets that the scalpers would go for are the ones that are still available. The ones that like the price range where the scalpers would normally live in are the ones that are going, which I think people are just buying to get it out of the way. But the highly sought after tickets, besides the pit, obviously, pit sold out basically across the board, that these scalpers would go for are the ones that are readily available, because they're the most expensive. They're so egregious. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. And that's my thoughts on that. I'm glad you brought it up, because I've been dying to talk to people about it.
Yeah,
I've talked to a couple people, but there's not many people that are like, yeah, talk to me about what you think about my chem. I
just can't. It just sucks, because especially, I mean, like, I think it was a video that I watched, or we talked about it. It was said, and it's in my brain, but it's kind of like the topic of their tour and the storyline that they're doing is commentary on politics and kind of like the current society, and then you're gonna fucking charge $200 per ticket
for nosebleeds. Get a grip.
Is it not clocking to you? Why is it not clocking to you? It's crazy, My Chemical Romance. Get that shit together. I can't believe it. I can't fucking believe it.
I can't either. I kept refreshing the page all day long on Friday, hoping that it was dynamic pricing and that things would go down, considering, the dynamic pricing drops pretty quick when the lack of demand is there. Even if the people are physically on the page, if the lack of demand is there, those prices drop pretty drastically, pretty quickly. And that wasn't happening. And I was like, oh no, these are the face value on the ticket. Because I saw 100,000 people. I'm like, they're going to add a second New York show, because New York's a Sunday, so they could easily add a Saturday, and it'd be perfect as long as it worked out with the Mets schedule, or even a Monday night, whatever worked best with the Mets schedule. And then I got there and I was like, it's not. I'm like, no wonder the queue moved a little too quick the entire time for this to have been a sellout. But On that note, we do have a handful of records to chat about and a couple of EPs, and of course, always have singles to talk about as well. So kicking it off, Dying Wish dropped their new album, Flesh Stays Together. This has been a record I've been very excited about since it got announced. I was not expecting a new Dying Wish record so soon.
It was quick turnaround.
Because I know Symptoms of Survival was 2 years ago, which is so wild to say out loud. It was November 2023, but it does not feel that fast. So when this band started rolling out new music about a year and a half into the album cycle of Symptoms of Survival, I was like, new music so soon, and they had put out that standalone single that's not on the record earlier this year around the Spirit Box tour. So they've been consistently putting out music. So they
never really stopped.
This new record was a pleasant surprise. And I had very high expectations for it because I've loved Dying Wish since my introduction to them was seeing them in 2021 open for Motionless in White. Hands down one of my favorite shows I've ever been to. One I reference to this day because I'll probably never see the band like that ever again. And I've been hooked ever since. Their new record wasn't even out then. It was the debut album. It wasn't even out then. I had bought it on CD like a month before it came out. And
that's
I was
crazy. That's so special.
And I was just blown away by it. I remember listening to it in my car on my way to work, and I was just blown the fuck away by what I was hearing. And then, Symptoms of Survival was the evolution of the band that I wanted to see because I love Emma's cleans and I wanted to hear more of that because there was so little of that on the first record. But when she did it, it really shined through and was a highlight on the record for me. So they did that, and they went a little bit more melodic and metalcore versus leaning into the hardcore that they kind of came up in, and the first record was more so leaning in. They went that slightly more mass appeal sound because of the success of the first record, which I can't fault them for. That album was phenomenal. And I was like, where is the band gonna go from here with this record? And honestly, it's a perfect blend of the first two records while continuing to do things that we haven't seen the band do yet, which I just love to see. There's plenty of ass beater moments. There's more like straight up hardcore roots of where they came from moments on this record. There's plenty more of Emma's cleans, which is still 3 records in of loving this band, still the standouts for me on any record, which is ironic considering how much I love the heavy shit. I just think Emma has one of the best voices in this metalcore hardcore scene that they find themselves in, in both scenes. And every time she sings, I'm just like, that, there you go, that's a highlight on the record. There's slow moments on the album. There's a couple, which is something that I feel like the first 2 records were just kind of consistently ass beating you, which is fine. This album allows you to take a couple of breathers throughout. No song in its entirety is slow.
They're not like acoustic tracks or anything.
But it builds into this massive like crescendo. I'm mainly referencing to Nothing Like You, which it starts out very slow, and then about that halfway point starts to build into this ultimately this massive crescendo. But there are a couple of slower moments throughout the entire record, which is something I appreciate because, like I said, it's not something we've seen the band do. And overall, I like I said, I just think it's a beautiful blend of the first 2 albums while continuing to innovate and do new things. Because this band still has a ton of ground ahead of them, but they've conquered so much in such a short amount of time. I was curious as to where this record was going to go, if they were going to go like kind of a safe route and just kind of continue to do what's been working, or continue to run this evolution, and they're going full blown with the evolution and continuing to grow and evolve their sound, which I love to see. And I've just been really digging this record. Like I said, I was very excited for it. And I this was the 12 a.m. Friday. Boom, the shit was on.
You were there
instantly, and it fucking rips. Every single song on this album is a favorite of mine, but like I don't belong anywhere with the fuck you call out before the breakdown is insane. I need to see that live like yesterday. It's a real bummer that their headline tour does not work well with my schedule and things that I have going on in November. A Curse Upon Iron to follow up that the first song is incredible. The closer, the title track is great, and like I said, every other song on this album is incredible. I don't have a song on here that stands out as like this isn't good, so I'm not going to name them all. I'm just going to tell you I think they're all incredible. I'm thoroughly enjoying this album. I'm excited to spend more time with it, and I'm stoked to see where this takes them.
Damn straight. So you are the resident Dying Wish fan. So hearing you talk about them made me very happy because I'm like, yeah, I know he's been waiting for this. And I know when they first started rolling it out, it was like, already? So soon? And I was like, all right, this is good. So I'm a Dying Wish enjoyer. I think they're a phenomenal band. I've heard so many great things about them, and I've listened to them. We interviewed Emma from Dying Wish about the last record. If you want to go check that out. Again, that was the last record, not this one. So finally having the record in full and being able to listen to it, I was very excited going into it because it's just like, I remembered really enjoying the last one, but not revisiting. But this one, I was just like, shit, I don't know. The singles have been fucking. I'm very excited. I am already somewhat familiar with the band, more so than just the surface level. I've listened to their records. I've spoken to Emma for a couple minutes, and this should be good. So going through, the record is a bit front loaded. It is the first couple songs are the singles, which I think is fine. It's just critique of my own, but I guess it kind of helped me get into the record. But I didn't have those buoys kind of moving throughout the rest of the record. Because as I said, I'm familiar, but I'm not a hardcore fan where it's like, I don't need anything. I can go in blind. I don't give a fuck. It's like, I still need a little bit of help, but it's fine. My personal favorite is Nothing Like You. I know that is the slower track on the record. Even it being slow, it's still metal. It's still heavy, but it is a lot more melodic. It is a lot more, there are a lot more clean vocals, and I think it's just a great song. Lyrically, I was able to actually pick apart. Yeah, I have troubles, even with some of my favorite bands. The Plot in You, I don't know what the fuck Landon's saying half the time, but it sounds good, so I listened to it. But with that song, I was able to hear all of the lyrics and understand exactly what they were saying, and I was like, damn, this song kind of fucks. I like this a lot. I also, the second half of the record is my personal favorite, so I loved Empty the Chamber. That shit is insane. There's a really crazy breakdown that I enjoyed that I kind of rewound a couple times in Heaven Departs. That shit, gnarly. It's like towards the second half, I think. And the title track is also a personal favorite. All of the singles were great. We spoke about them when they first came out. So yeah, really great record. I fuck with it. I love it.
Oh yeah.
The starting line dropped their new album, Eternal Youth.
First starting line record in almost 20 years. You know, this is a band that I was familiar with just because they are a pivotal name within the scene. So seeing they were coming back doing their first record in almost 20 years, I was like, fuck it, we'll cover it. I've heard the name, but this will be my introduction. So I totally went in blind. We had covered the singles, but outside of that, I was like, bring it on. And I think this record's solid. I think that what they did was they set out to make a pop punk record, and it's very much like kind of what Motion City Soundtrack did, what we just talked about a couple weeks ago, where it's got a lot of nostalgia baked within it, but it also,
and yes, we are old enough
to feel nostalgia for certain things. Yes, we are. But it's also got new takes on the genre and what they're going for, and it creates this nice blend that is the perfect for old fans and new fans, because anytime a band comes back and does a record, especially for as long as the starting line's been away, people are going to be like, why doesn't it sound like this? And I think that this is the perfect middle ground for that, where you give some taste of that while you also kind of evolve on the sound when you're coming back and showcase what the band looks like now in present day. So I'll give them kudos for that. I've been appreciating that these are the approaches that these bands are taking, and I think the record's solid. I like the way it opens with how I see how it is. I like Circulate, which was a single, but that shit absolutely rips. So don't hate me there. I do think that the record gets a little muddy and a little samey towards the end. Like Granted, from Granted to Benchmark, and I even took a break, and this wasn't because I wanted to, but because I had finished my drive and had a little bit before I was back in the car. I took a break, and I still came back to the last couple songs of the record because that's where I had ended off, and I was just feeling the same way about the last 4 songs. Like, my opinion did not change, even getting to Take Time Away. I noticed like in the middle of Granted, it just got very muddy sounding. And it was like the record sounded good, and then all of a sudden everything was kind of muddying together like halfway through this one song. And the rest of the record from there just kind of felt very samey, and like there wasn't a ton of evolution. And let's be honest, this is a very straight down the middle pop punk record. There's not a ton of new exciting things going on in this album.
Groundbreaking.
They're evolving the sound in the sense of they're taking a modern approach to the pop punk sound, as well as doing some nostalgic bits as well. But it gets very samey towards the end, and like I said, I took a step away, not on purpose, totally just because of the way my day was working out, and I still just came back feeling the same way about those last couple of songs. So I like the first half. I do think there's a little bit of variety there that kind of keeps you on your toes, but towards the end of the record it gets to be a lot of the same, and that's where my problems lie. But like I said, the first half absolutely rips. I got favorites from that side. I wish I liked the second half more. Overall, I do think the record is solid.
Hell yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna be real. Once it kind of hit that second half of the record, I did. Now that you say it, I was looking at my phone more to kind of see like where I was in the record, to see like, okay, how long is left. I thought it sounded great. I didn't pick up kind of the muddy note that you mentioned, but I do pick up the samey vibe that you're saying. Even just now, I was like, is he onto something? I skipped around, starting from Granted to Benchmark, and it's like I was just skipping in random spots, and it sounded like the song was just continuing. So that's happening, and that's completely, fuck, man, what can you do, But other than that, like I enjoyed the record. I like pop punk. I like the classic pop punk of just kind of like this sound and this era specifically. It's great that they're back, and it does kind of have that familiarity of the nostalgic pop punk of that early 2000s vibe to kind of like the new and sunny and bright and shiny pop punk that's happening now. I do like Circulate. You said that was a single. I fuck with it. It's a single for a reason. I can't be mad at that. I do fuck with that song. I do like Defeating the Purpose plus Pivot. And I do like Sense of Humor as well. Even though it is kind of like the start of the samey part, I did enjoy Granted. But no, I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I do agree, because it was kind of in that area, maybe including Curveball, but just that second half of the record where I was picking up my phone to be like, how much is, I've been listening to this for a while, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was good. Other than that, again, it's like, it happens. Fuck,
It happens,
shit.
But it was a solid record overall.
Absolutely, yeah.
HUNNY dropped their new album, Spirit. HUNNY is now the solo project of the longtime frontman Jason. And that was this record we typically cover Honey a little bit closer than we did with this album. So this one we're going in completely blind because I knew it was coming, but we were not keeping up with these singles. All of a sudden the record was here and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh shit, I remember Honey.
Yeah, I knew it was coming and then just like all of a sudden it was here. And you know, I like what this album is going for. I've always loved Honey's sound, and even with it just being Jason now, you can see that he's the visionary of the band because the sound stays consistent. This is very much what Honey's doing, that like indie rock feel good vibe, even if the lyrics aren't feel good. You know, windows down in the summer kind of vibes if you're not listening too closely to the lyrics always. And I like that style of music. It's not something I actively seek out, but when it's put in front of me, I'm like, oh wait, no, this shit kind of rocks. And Honey's take on it is very new and refreshing, and it always has been, and it's something that I really appreciate about the band. But with that being said, this record, my problem with it is nothing sonically, nothing song wise. I think the songs are all good. It's the fact that a lot of these songs do not feel fully fleshed out, and I'm never someone that's like, I want the songs to be longer. I'm never like that.
I was looking at that because I was like, oh shit, they are all under 3 minutes long. The longest track is like 3 minutes. It's crazy.
I'm never one that sits here and is like, please, for the love of God, make your music longer. But I will sit here and say that when the songs do not feel fully fleshed out, it felt like I was listening more so to like an EP of notes app and demos and ideas versus an album. I think the basis is all here on this record. There's a lot of really great songs. But my problem is all of those great songs end too soon, and it doesn't leave me wanting more. It just leaves me annoyed because I'm confused. Because I'm just like, there's more that could be done here, and it's not like there's one song. Listen, if it was one or two songs on the record, I'd be like, okay, they left me wanting more. They put me on a cliffhanger at the end, whatever. Every single song on this record, I leave with the same feeling, and it's just aggravating to listen to. I think the songs, like I said, the songs are good. What is here is incredibly solid. Do not discredit that. But that is my main problem with the record, is just the fact that it's like, it's just too quick. It's too quick. I can't believe I'm saying this, because if every band was fully fleshed out songs in 2.5 minutes, oh my God, I would still be upset. But if there was more of that, oh my God. But
and that was normalized.
Just a little bit more normalized. I like a nice like 3.5 minute song that does everything it's got to do. But like a 2.5 minute banger every once in a while. But these are like 2.5 minute half bangers. There's more there's like 30 to 45 more seconds worth of banger on each of these ideas. But no, like I'm half kidding, but what you said is basically how I feel, which is like there's so much potential here, but there's just not enough meat on the bone to really solidify any of these songs. And that's my main problem. You know, I like the way it opens with with what is called literally just title track. I just think the title of POV You're Dead and I'm Checking My Hair in Your Sunglasses is a great title.
That was my favorite off the album, and I was like, fuck, the title fucks too. I'm not mad.
And the song goes hard. And I like Catalina. It's one of the ones that's a little bit longer and is a little bit more fleshed out. I can see my house from here as well. But then there's songs like White Boy Dance that are 38 seconds long, Airplane Song, which is essentially just a voice note of him strumming for 30 seconds that bleeds into I Can See My House from Here. And you know, Spam Calls is a cool idea, but I think that there's more there. Somebody Else is a cool idea. I think there's something more there. Horse with Curse. I'm okay with that song being left where it is. That one can stay. But like I said, there's so many songs on here that are good. I think that there's more there, and that's my main problem with this record. But I don't want to. I know spent a lot of time talking about that, but I don't want to discredit that this album is good and is right for the right listener. I'm just not that person. It sounds like Gloria's not either, but I'll let her take it from here.
No, so I completely agree with you on everything. I thought this record went by really quickly. It's 30 minutes, 15 tracks. So already the numbers aren't
Mhm.
lining up properly. It's kind of like either this is a lot of interludes and it's basically an EP, or all the songs are kind of half baked,
Mhm.
basically. That's what this feels like. I prefer songs, usually that 3 minute mark is kind of the sweet spot. 3:30 typically is the sweet spot for me personally. The longest track on the record is 3:08. But as you said, and as I'm going to back, it is not the length of the songs that's the issue. It's kind of just the concept of them that feels like it has not been fully developed. If you were able to get to point A to from point A to point B and make me feel like that was a complete, fully well thought out, fully baked song, I wouldn't be complaining. But it's just kind of the songs came and went, and I didn't have enough time to process them, I guess. They didn't linger long enough. They just kind of said, "All right, here it is. Okay, it's gone.
Mhm.
What'd you think?" And it's like, "Fuck, I don't know. You were here for like a minute and 30 seconds. Was that even a song?" You know? So, I feel like honestly could have just smushed some of these together. I think that would have been great. Honestly, like you could have added Airplane Song to I Could See My House from Here just to make it just a longer intro for it or
Mhm.
something. I don't know. I feel like there were a couple things here that could have been done differently, but overall the contents of the album I think are good. I think they're solid, catchy, happy-go-lucky sounding songs. It has kind of like that beachy summer sound, which is crazy because it's the end of summer, but
Still
I
feels
fuck
like
with
it
it.
still feels like summer though. Summer's officially over and it still feels like summer.
It still feels like summer, yeah. But I mean, it's still that kind of like fall vibe where, windows are down regardless. It's gonna be middle of fucking winter, 14 inches of snow outside, and my windows will be down and it will be cutting my face up because of how cold it is. But I will be enjoying my time because this record will be on. I don't give a fuck. It encapsulates that summer feeling. Um, But that's my issue with it. It's the same thing, basically just echoing what you were saying. I think that the songs weren't developed enough. And fuck, I would have been cool with like a minute more on these. Just to kind of reestablish the world and the sounds that the songs were trying to build and introduce to you. But it's just with these, it's like you can't really sink your teeth into it. There isn't enough time.
Yeah.
Unless you have it on loop for like an hour, which I did not.
No, neither did I.
President dropped their new EP, King of Terrors. Okay, you know what? I'm not mad at this. I'm gonna say it. I was mad at the first single. We dogpiled the shit out of
It's like
that
this
first
is
single.
ass.
This is ass. Who the fuck is this? Why are you on the cover of Alt Press with your first single? Um, and also, why are you like the fucking headliner of a massive festival? It was just like it was a big thing, and everyone was confused, and I was upset because I was like, damn, we're just putting dog shit at the top now. This is crazy. I take that back. The singles progressively got better. I mean, we kept warming up to President, and now, honestly, having a full body of work to kind of sit and bask in whatever the fuck this is, I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, fuck, a lot of these were a lot of these were singles.
Hmm.
Fuck, was it every single one was a single?
No,
There's
not
no
every
way.
single one.
One, two, three, four. There were four singles and there's six songs. So there were two new songs here. We followed all of the singles for this EP, and honestly, as I said, they just progressively got better. I think they debuted, I think it was In the Name of the Father was the first track. Still hot dookie shit. Still not a fan, respectfully. I don't like it. Then I did like kind of like the more there was like a techno-y
Rage.
EDM type shit.
Yeah.
I loved that and I warmed up to it heavy. I thoroughly liked this record. I mean, it covers a couple different genres, it covers a couple different sounds, but I think in the concept of the EP and just kind of sitting down with it and having to listen to the entire thing, I think it worked. And I liked it, and I wanted a little more. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn, just an EP. I'll work with it. But how are you headlining with just like six songs? There's got to be more.
Of course, there's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this EP is really cool. You know, I was in the same boat as Glory. We dogpiled the shit out of
Oh
In the
yeah,
Name of the Father.
it was just fun. You know, it's fun.
Because that song, I was like, people are excited about this. I'm sorry, are we listening to the same thing? That song has since grown on me. It's still not my favorite, but the song has definitely grown on me. It opens the EP, but it got progressively better as the rollout went on, and I do think that this EP is very solid. You know, the president is pulling a lot of different influences and styles that are not normally seen in the metal world. You know, there's a lot of pop and techno and EDM and things like that kind of infused in this record that is done differently than what we might normally see when a band attempts something like that, which I appreciate. It's a fresh take, and I do actually get the hype for it now. I did not when everyone and their mother was posting In the Name of the Father, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Did we listen to the same thing?
I still don't think we were. I think there was a different stream that we got, and I'm like, I'm still listening, guys. I'm waiting for it.
Still trying to figure it out. My favorites are Rage and Destroy Me. Yes, both singles, but there's only 6 songs here to work with. And those are my favorites.
Odds are not in our favor.
Odds are not in our favor. There are more singles than non-singles, but Rage is probably my favorite. That's got that EDM feel to it. Of course, coupled with a breakdown, because why wouldn't there be? But yeah, overall, I do think that this EP is very solid. I'm excited to see what else comes out of the President project. But in the meantime, I'm glad to say that I get it now. At least for now. I don't know. You know, things could change. You know,
the next
shit could get weird, and I could be like, yeah, no, I don't get it, guys. But for now, I get it, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Exactly.
Face Yourself dropped their new EP, Fury. We had Face Yourself on the podcast to chat about their last EP, which was Martyr, and we both enjoyed that. And you know, we've been covering them ever since. We're a little bit more selective with the deathcore that we cover, but I took a liking to this band, and I did think that Martyr was a very solid project. But I know they've been a band for a minute. I haven't went super far back into their discography, but from what I've heard, which is the last EP and now this EP, this is a step up from that previous EP. I think that the songs are a little bit more cohesive, and they're like, overall the EP itself has a little bit more of the same kind of vision, which I appreciate. You know, they still have that melodic take on the sound, which is, you know, something I gravitate towards. I don't want this just wall of sound that's just constant the entire time. And you know, this style of music for me is a little bit more digestible in an EP form, although I have been banging the new Lorna Shore record, I can't lie, all hour and 6 minutes of it.
That's news to me.
Yeah, I've been banging. I've been ripping that, but a little bit more digestible in EP form, just because it can get very much wall of soundy. But I think that this EP does its job. Like I said, I think it's the best thing I've heard from the band. It's a little bit more cohesive in its entirety, which I really appreciate. I like the way it opens with Wet Dreams. I think Catacombs is a standout, as well as Fractures, of course, of Agony to close things off. It rips, and that's not to discredit Carousel of Violence, which is right there smack dab in the middle. I did not mean to name all 5 songs when I started naming songs, but it just kind of happened because there's only 5 songs on this EP, and it totals in at just about 18 minutes. Sorry.
The last one was 15.
Yes, which is perfect. That's like perfect. But yes, I'm really stoked on this. I think that this is going to, you know, the band has already got the attention. This is just going to build on that. I think this builds on the band's sonics, and I'm excited to see where this takes the band, because they're going to be out with Signs of the Swarm, and they're having a moment. And I think that this band could be next, because they absolutely fucking rip.
Yeah, hell yeah. I did enjoy this record, and that's saying a lot, because me and deathcore, we're familiar, you know, but we aren't necessarily friends. And, you know, like, I'm a familiar face, but we don't like know each other like that, you know. But I did really enjoy this record. My personal favorite is Wet Dreams. I mean, it's an opener, so obviously it's gonna crush you either way. But I do feel like it is the most melodic track on the record. I feel like it's a lot easier to follow for me, and it's aggressive as shit. But in the grand scheme of the record, I feel like it is the tamest track.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm talking shit. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. That's how I feel. I'm sorry. And it was just also my personal favorite. I thought it was just a fun track. It's a good listen. Um, I do like Carousel of Violence, and then also the closer of Agony. I thought the record's insane. I mean, it's death metal, so there are no slow tracks. Don't
Yeah.
expect, a little acoustic little moment, a cute little no. No, that's not gonna happen here. But I really enjoyed it. I did. And that is that not a first, but rarer occasion, you know? I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I fuck with this. I liked it.
Oh
I
yeah.
like it. Spite dropped a new single, New World Killer. Fuck yeah. This shit rock, dude. I liked this a lot. Why'd you look at me like that?
No, I agree. This got me. This is the title track off the upcoming record.
Oh,
This
yeah.
got me very excited for the new album.
Yeah.
This is really really solid, and I'm
It's
very
a
excited to hear the new album now.
yeah. So I know like I just said like death metal and all that. I don't know. Something about this. It had the bouncy vibe. It
Mhm.
was, I want to back my shit up. I want to back my claims up. It was bouncy. It was fun. The guitars had kind of like metalcore elements in it. It felt a lot more familiar than most deathcore did. I don't know. That's why I liked it a lot. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
I just have to
Um,
justify it. I don't know why I felt the need to like back myself up there.
Mimi at the Altar dropped their new single Straight Up, in parentheses Needy. Got a new EP coming out in December. And this is a return to form for the band. The
Ooh,
last
yes.
record we dogged on pretty hard because it was like this out of left field pop vibe that the band was not doing before that.
That's not why we followed you. It's cool, to explore and shit, but it was such like so out of left field.
Yeah, especially like coming off the back of an EP that was on the major label that record also ended up being on. Was just this
And they,
very
they were doing like metalcore and
Yeah.
pop punk, and then they just turned around and did pop.
Yeah.
It was weird. Sorry. Yeah.
was very weird. But now the return to form with the song, so I'm excited for this EP. I'm happy to say that. But yeah, I think that this song rocks. Like I said, it's a return to form. It's why I drew a liking to the band in the first place. So I'm excited to see what the rest of this EP sounds like.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I saw the teaser for it, or maybe the announcement of, "Hey, it's up, go listen to it." And I streamed that shit maybe like 3 or 4 times because I was like, "Okay, this is exciting. This is good. This is familiar. This is them. I like it."
Yeah.
Uh, TX2 and Ekoh dropped their new single, "Nice Guy."
Yes, they did. This has got to be the most tame song, considering like I just expected this song and what this song is saying to be a lot more in your face than what it is. It just kind of exists, and I feel like there's been songs in the TX2 discography that have had less interesting topics to talk about that have been more in your face than this song is, and I think it's a missed opportunity considering the marketing and everything that goes on with the project. And I thought the song was just fine, honestly, because it's not as out there as I was expecting it to be. Even the way it was marketed, I was expecting it to be a little bit more out there, and there's been plenty of like quote unquote safe commercial middle of the road TX2 songs, and I like when he does that, but this one I didn't think it called for that, so I'm a little bit at a loss here, especially with Ekoh on the track. I was expecting things to go a different way because he can get funky with it, and his rap style can be like very aggressive and carry the song forward, and I just thought that the song didn't do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think lyrically and conceptually, the song could have been a lot more metal or just heavier, or you used the word aggressive in a way. Um, this song sonically just felt like a Disney villain song, you know? And it was just like because it was too poppy. It was too safe.
Mhm.
And it was weird to hear TX2 sound like this. It felt like a parody song, you know? And that sucks because I do like TX2. You know, I'm if I don't like it, I'm gonna say I don't like it. But
Yeah.
it's just like I'm a fan. I like his music. I think he makes great music. But it's just like this was a miss for me. I think sonically it could have been so much cooler. I think it could have been heavier because that's personally just what I'm drawn to. But I like pop stuff too. I like safe stuff, but this one, as I said, it felt like a Disney villain song.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah.
Charlotte Sands dropped a new single, Afterlife. I thought that the song was solid. You know, it's very classic Charlotte Sands.
You
I
say
don't.
pop, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this girl can write a bad song. We've yet to figure that one out. So I'm excited for whatever's coming because she's dropped a couple of singles now, hoping for record. It's been a minute, you know.
Yeah, this one was nice. I mean, it sounded just like kind of like what's happening in the pop world right now, kind of like that Olivia Rodrigo, like Starry Night pop, I guess. It's nice. And I think her voice is incredible. I think she's able to kind of do whatever the fuck she wants to do and it's gonna sound nice. Um, but no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
A Dayseeker dropped a new single, Bloodlust. That's a cute track.
Got a little heavy there, which I have
Watch
appreciated.
out there.
Which I have appreciated because, you know, they found this new sound with Dark Sun.
hmm
And of course they were going to build on it. That record was insane, the impact
Yeah.
that had
Yeah.
on their career and the trajectory it had. But they've had some heavy moments. You know, that record had its heavy moments as well, but it was very much like introducing the fans to this new sound, removing the heavy element from the band largely in part. Like I said, there were still a couple of moments on that record, but I feel like this album and what we've heard so far has been a nice blend, and a little bit more fan service, which is good. Obviously the older stuff is there. In the interview we did with Rory about the last record, you know, he said that the old stuff is there
You want to listen to it, it's
if you
still
want to
there.
listen to it, and the band's not going to do that again, but blending the old sound, which was just basically, you know, the fans want breakdowns, with the new sound, has been an interesting thing to see them do. And I think that this is the best example because it is a little bit heavier than everything else we've heard. But we'll get to hear the whole record in just about a month, and I'm excited for that.
Should be good.
And yeah, this is my favorite single because of that. You know, the little bit heavier than everything else, which I appreciate. Catch Your Breath dropped the new single, Dark. Always like to see Catch Your Breath on the playlist because I do dig this band. I had a moment with their record at the top of last year, I think, like right when it had, you know, a couple months after it came out. I had spent some time with it, and I thought the record was very solid. And you know, this just continues along here. I'm very excited for what's to come from Catch Your Breath, and you know, just consider me stoked.
I mean, tickle my fancy tickled, you know?
Consider my fancy tickled.
Tickle my fancy tickled. I liked this track a lot. I think the breakdown at the end was really fucking good. I was gonna say groovy, but it wasn't groovy. I don't want to lead anyone on here. I thought it was good. I really enjoyed the track. I do like Catch Your Breath. It was just classic Catch Your Breath for me. Dark Divine dropped a new single, Halloween Town 2, Welcome Home. I mean, you you should know it's Dark Divine. It like I was listening and I heard all the little the fucking ear candy and kind of like all the little bells and whistles. And before I even fucking looked at my phone, I was like, I know this is fucking Dark Divine because who else does shit like this? The only other band that I thought maybe Fame on Fire, but I heard the vocals, I was like, this is not Fame on Fire. This shit fucks. They're going back to my favorite era of them, which was Halloween Town, where there were just so many little Easter eggs and so many little things that you could hear, and that's what I fucking love. I love that shit. Where I could listen to it 1,000 times over and still find new little fun things to hear. I thought this song was good. Breakdowns, crazy. I thought it fucked.
Yeah, this is very early 2010s to have a sequel to your song. It's that very obvious the brand that they're going for, and I don't hate them for it because I love that brand. I'm a sucker for it.
Bring it back, bring it back.
And I love the band because of that. But when I saw Halloween Town 2, I'm like, man, it's only fitting. I know that song did a lot for the band. I know how big that song is. So to do the sequel, I thought, it's only fitting, and then it goes with the brand, which I appreciate. I think the song is solid. Like you said, it's very classic Dark Divine, and I'm digging it. The Acacia Strain dropped their new single Swamp Mentality. I mean, this shit's just a fucking ass beater for about a minute and a half, kicks your ass, and then it's just like it spits on you on the way out. Shout out the Acacia Strain. I'm so excited for this new record.
Yeah, this shit was crazy. Breakdown is absolutely fucking insane. I'm learning. I'm a big cymbal girl. Learning.
Well, you've always liked the drums. We know that.
I've loved the drums, and now I'm able to really laser in on what about the drums I like. 4 years later, guys, it's the cymbals. I like the cymbals. Keep it coming. Great song. I like this song a lot. Anberlin and Maddie goddamn Mullins dropped their new single, Ready Fuel. So Maddie is still the vocalist, the stand-in vocalist for Anberlin, the new little vocalist, and we love him. He's our favorite redhead, God's favorite redhead.
Shout out Maddie Mullins.
Shout out Anberlin. Yeah. This song was great. I loved this a lot. I mean, we are fans of Anberlin, and I thought this was a cute track. It's fun. That's all I gotta say. I'm just really excited about Maddie Mullins.
Yeah, I mean, anytime a song that Maddie Mullins is on the podcast is a good fucking day for us. Exactly. And sign me the fuck up. I thought that this song was solid. I've enjoyed everything Anberlin has done. Getting some more stuff with Maddie is appreciated because I know he's it's been a little unclear, and the band was very upfront about that when we interviewed them. They're keeping it unclear for a reason, because they don't know where Steven's going to sit in terms of studio stuff and where Maddie's going to come in. Maddie's pretty concrete as the live vocalist for now, but it's cool to kind of see where the band's coming from. I know the record Vega, which is when we had them on the podcast, was mostly the EPs that they had done with Steven, and then a couple of new songs with Maddie. But I would like to kind of see that continue with the band, where it's kind of like you don't know what's going to come next. You know who's going to be standing on that stage more than likely, but you don't really know what you're going to get from the studio, and we don't know what exactly they're cooking up, what's coming. But I do always appreciate when Maddie Mullins is on the track, and that's just personal preference. Love Memphis Mayfire, and when he gets to take a little bit more of a singing driven role in a song, he really stands out. Although Memphis Mayfire, he fucking rips in that. Shout out Maddie Mullins. 5 Seconds of Summer dropped the new single Not Okay. Did not expect a new 5 Seconds of Summer record before the end of the year.
I got that countdown and I went, this has to be a fucking glitch. Whole new album. It's like they heard us bitching and they were like, fine, we'll get back together.
Whole new record, and it's back to the roots. This does not get much more back to the roots than literally going backwards in time and putting out the first record all over again, or to stay in present day to do a re-release with a couple of bonus tracks of the first couple of records. This is so early 5 Seconds of Summer, exactly what I wanted to hear from the band, even more so than Calm. This song has actually been stuck in my head because I really dig the song. The marketing has been all over my feeds, my various different feeds, and I'm really digging the song.
I haven't got a drop of marketing. I'm gonna be so real, and it's like I'm the target audience. Dude, so
maybe because I follow 5 Seconds of Summer, and then like you interact with one thing on TikTok, because I thought that the reel was the TikTok. I'm using the wrong terms for the wrong platforms. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I thought the TikTok. I thought the Facebook reel was cool on the TikTok, and I liked it, and all of a sudden I'm getting more shorts from the band. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I can't keep up.
I liked one TikTok, and now I've got videos, more marketing videos, as well as videos of them playing the song live, because they did a pop-up show in LA. But yeah,
God, I know their Australian fans are mad as fuck. They're like, "What the fuck? You going to LA? We're right here." Yeah, that sucks. I'd be pissed. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really digging this song more than I thought I was going to.
No, I liked this track a lot. I mean, I think it's definitely current. No, it's definitely 2010s pop focused. I think there's a lot of Gorillaz influence on there. I think it captures kind of like that bright sunny pop with that hazy grease pop. I think it's fun. I think it has a tiny bit of edge. I'm very excited. This is such a step up. Guys, thank you for listening to us bitch and review all of your solo albums. We didn't miss a single one. And basically say, hey, all of these suck. Please get back together because you guys are so good together.
They look dirty again.
And that's so good.
That's how you know the record's gonna rock.
Oh yeah, they look greasy as shit. There wasn't a shower, not a lick of fucking soap in that room, dude. No one smells good in there. I'm good, but I'll take the record. Hell yeah. Silly Goose dropped a new single, Split. This shit fucks. I like this a lot. I mean, it's still that fucking new metal is the correct term for it. And I'm loving new metal right now. I'm in a new metal mood. Maybe it's because Don Broco's doing it, and now I'm just like, fuck, just give me all the new metal. But I like it a lot. I thought it was that Silly Goose, catchy, fucking in your face, fuck you vibe. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Well done.
Yeah, I think it's solid. I thought it was a little less in your face than what we've gotten from the Goose in the past, and
in
with,
the context of the Goose, yeah.
and with this album cycle. But you know, it is very much still classic, exactly what you expect. I mean, I expect to just kind of get pummeled and have Jackson kind of say a bunch of random shit to me for 2.5 to 3 minutes long, and then move on with my day, at least during the single rollouts. And then with the record, I'm expecting about 30 minutes of that. But I do think that this song is solid, and I'm excited to hear this whole album here in a couple of weeks. Hillhaven dropped their new single Shadow. I thought that this song was pretty fucking solid. Been digging everything that Hillhaven has done this year, especially like Say My Name was a song that was on repeat for me for a little bit. I still think that that's some of the best stuff that they've done in a minute. And I've just been digging everything. I think that it's a step up from the stuff we got that kind of debuted the project. And I'm just excited.
Yeah, I thought this was fucking catchy. I thought it was a good song. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm a big fan of Hillhaven. I think their music is just consistently good. You see the name and you know it's gonna fucking rock. I'm a fan. I liked it.
Oh yeah.
Acres dropped a new single, Take My Last Breath. They're still confusing me with this whole fucking not a deluxe fucking...
This is actually the only non-single. The new version of The Host came out on Friday. We had it on the playlist, and then I was like, we reviewed the record, and then we reviewed the 2 singles, and now there's 1 song left. I'm like, there is no point in us having another review of Acres The Host on the channel, because that's how it would be stylized in the title. So it's like, let's just talk about the single that's left, because the marketing for this has been so confusing.
Re-released it?
I still do not understand what's happening. If the album wasn't ready when it came out, you should have just not put the record out. Just put the singles out and then finish the record and put the record out, because I understand they were touring the US a lot, so I understand the need to have something out and the need to have preferably an album. I can understand all that from a marketing label perspective, yada yada. The marketing of whatever the fuck this is has been confusing as shit, hence why we're just covering the last song as a single to move on. We're big fans of Acres. We're big fans of Acres. We want to see this through. We like everything that they did with The Host, the singles, post The Host coming out, now the re-release of The Host Deluxe Edition, whatever it is. I've been getting conflicting things even within each individual press release for the singles.
They don't even know what's going on.
Everything about this has been so confusing. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. All that to say, I think that this song is really good. It fits in with everything else that we've heard off of the record. the only non-single from this rollout. There were other non-singles, but those have been out since May. Obviously, the only non-single in the course of the rollout of the 3 new songs that are now on the host that are not a deluxe edition, because it's not a deluxe edition. Don't call it that. But it's the record. But I don't understand.
I don't know.
This song is good. I'm excited about this band and where it's going to take them. But I'm just glad that this confusion, we're done talking about it, hopefully, because this is easily the most confusing rollout we've ever covered. And we covered Hayley Williams EPs and albums.
Let's not talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I really don't. That was hard for me in 2020, and it's hard for me now. So it's just like, fuck, man. I loved this song. I thought it was great. It kind of gave me Bring Me the Horizon vibes, where it's kind of that techno, electronic, heavy, glitchy, really fun, upbeat vibe. I fuck with it heavy. If you like that from Bring Me the Horizon, you will love this record by Acres. They're honestly one of my favorite bands that we have found because of the podcast. I think they're phenomenal. I think their sound is addictive. I'm happy that the confusion is over, but now I have a new record, a new old record, a familiar record, a record to listen to. Whatever it is, I love it, and I think they're great. Yes.
Hell yeah. Well, as Gloria said, that's all the topics we have today. You can follow us on Instagram is Good Noise Podcast, Facebook is Good Noise Pod, TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. All the audio platforms are all Good Noise Podcast. YouTube is also Good Noise Podcast, and Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Gloria's got your Patreon supporters, your Twitch subs, your important plugs, your merch store plug, and your Amazon storefront plug, and then we're going to sign off.
Check out our merch. It is goodnoisepodcast.creator-spring.com. Check out our Amazon storefront. It has everything you need to start a podcast. Ring lights. Maybe. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Matt from Pulse's Pop Punk Apologist, Infamous Debub, Tyson from Heal the Hurt, and Eric. And thank you to our Twitch sub, Matt, again from Pulse's. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated, as always.
Yes. And important plugs: Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, Free Palestine, Fuck ICE, Be a Decent Person, support small local bands, support big bands. If you have the money and you want to spend it, maybe go see My Chemical Romance. But guys, if we all stop buying tickets, they will lower the prices and we can all win. I'm not going to say it.
Those ticket prices, they're coming down.
If I have a say in it. I need to see My Chemical Romance, and I need to not pay an arm, a leg, a kidney, and probably a foot or something. I would rather keep my foot. The rest, sure, but I need my foot. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Hell yeah. Well, that's all we have. I have been Shane.
I have been Gloria.
And we have been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.